I start every month with a monthly review and reset using my Get a Grip system. As usual, my strategy uses science-based systems to improve productivity and feelings of well-being. Today, I'm going to walk you through my system, including the research behind each strategy. As I walk you through the system, I'm going to show you what my most recent monthly review and reset looks like on my Notion page. The first G in my Get a Grip system stands for gratitude. Doing a monthly review and reset like this allows you to recognize the positive aspects of your life. It also provides you with a specific venue to express that gratitude. A meta-analysis, which is a systematic review and statistical analysis of trends across studies, looked at 39 studies and found that gratitude was consistently associated with greater feelings of well-being. This included lower levels of depression, anxiety, and stress. Gratitude is also related to higher feelings of life satisfaction and increased expression of positive emotions. I have all of my monthly reset here on this Notion page within my Notion Life Operating System. In my monthly review and reset template, I have gratitude on the top. It's the first thing that I fill out every month. This month, I am grateful for the flexibility that I have in my job, which allows me to have the autonomy and freedom to be able to pursue a bunch of different projects that are interesting to me. It also allows me to pursue some of my passion projects, like this YouTube channel. The E in the Get a Grip system stands for examine. At the end of each month, I like to take a look at how I've spent my time. And I do this in two ways. First, I take a look at my work calendar. I review any projects that I might have finished over the last month. I review any important meetings or events that I might have attended or led. And I take this time to go into my workspace within Notion and I click on this accomplishments page. On this page, I write any of my major job accomplishments at the end of each month. This serves multiple purposes. First, I have a list of accomplishments that I can use for my annual evaluation. Rather than trying to remember all of the things that I've accomplished at work at the end of the year, I simply write them down at the end of each month when they're still fresh in my mind. Secondly, looking at my accomplishments in black and white help me to understand how I'm spending my time at work. Sometimes, especially if you're a knowledge worker, days, weeks, or months can go by and you might feel like you're not getting much done. Sometimes I wonder if I'm even working at all. Looking at my accomplishments in black and white help me to gain a sense of mastery. Feelings of mastery are associated with job satisfaction. Looking back on your time can also have additional benefits in your time usage at work. A systematic review, which is a study that does a review of studies, looked at 28 different studies and found that time tracking can help individuals improve their time management skills, better understand their time usage, and decrease time waste. Alright, the second way I examine my month is much more fun. I take out my iPhone or iPad and I look through the photos from the last month. I'm constantly taking pictures of my husband and my son and all of the activities that we do during the month. I look over those photos and I pull out the top 6 or 7 and I plug them into this Canva template, and I have that on the top left-hand corner of my monthly reset. This provides me a fun reminder of how I'm spending my time, and it also gives me a little snapshot of my highlights for the month. I like these photographs. My son was with my husband shopping for some military gear, and this was him putting on an officer's cap. My husband redid our front yard and he planted beautiful flowers. In case you haven't picked it up in the channel, my favorite colors are blue and pink, and he made the outside garden blue and pink, and there are some really vibrant flowers out there. I also took some new photos for this channel, so I put that up. So those were the major events for April. The T in the Get a Grip system stands for tracking. I take this time to think about how I'm doing in terms of meeting my yearly, quarterly, and monthly goals. A recent study found that reviewing your goals was positively associated with feelings of well-being. The authors suggested that goal reviews helped individuals stay on track, achieve a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Here in my Notion template, I have a specific section dedicated to my monthly goals. I use objective metrics to understand whether I'm succeeding or falling short of the specific goals that I set for myself this month. My quarterly goals were to lose 5 pounds and to post once a week, so that was 12 postings. So for this month, I wanted to post 4 times and I wanted to lose 2 pounds. And this month I lost 1 of those 2 pounds and I posted 2 out of the 4 videos. Which brings us to the A in the Get a Grip system. The A stands for accountability. I take a critical look at why I did or did not meet the goals that I set for myself earlier in the month. I specifically focus on my own contributions to my successes and my shortfalls. What were the things that were within my control that contributed to my successes and my shortcomings? What were the things that were beyond my control or the environmental factors that contributed to those successes and shortcomings? There's some scientific literature on the relationship between feeling like you have a sense of control over what happens to you, scientifically referred to as internal locus of control, and feelings of well-being. Generally, people that feel like they have a high internal locus of control, meaning that they feel like they have an influence or an impact and can control what happens to them, generally feel higher feelings of well-being. So I take this opportunity to highlight areas in my life where I have control. Although this concept of radical acceptance is central to several forms of therapy that I use in my practice as a clinical psychologist, as well as in my work with life coach clients, my actions here are really driven by my Stoic philosophy and trying to live my life consistent with those principles. My goal is to set my ego aside and to be able to take a critical look at how my actions have contributed to where I am today. So at this point in my monthly reset, I ask myself, what do I want to do more of next month? And what do I want to do less of this month? In terms of accountability, this is for why I did not meet my monthly goals. I think that in general, I have done a good job at taking small moments in my day to fit in what I need to do. So for the YouTube video, I've started to script whenever I have a few minutes. I'm focusing on just making sure that I am committing to days that I will be recording, and whether I'm prepared or not, just show up and get in front of the camera and start moving. I'd like to do more food logging. I have been on and off with my food logging over the past few weeks, and I also want to do more low intensity, steady state training. I was on a performance journey and I was able to meet my performance standards, but now I'm in sort of a cut phase and I'm trying to decrease my weight and a little bit of the muscle mass as well. So I need to focus more on doing a little bit more of that low intensity, steady state. I want to do less learning and more doing because I can get focused on trying to be perfect and trying to learn new skills, and I'm not putting the skills that I already have into good use and good practice. I want to do less planning and more execution, and I also want to do less perfecting and just being satisfied with things when they're at the 80% mark, pushing it out there. So those are some things for my accountability, which leads us into the second G in the Get a Grip system: gather lessons learned. The US Army does this thing called an after-action review. It's a systematic process used to assess past missions, trainings, and exercises to identify what went right, what went wrong, and what lessons were learned that can be used to improve planning for the follow-on mission. I have a space in my monthly Notion reset template for my own type of after-action review, the exercise here being Operation Last Month. Here I ask myself, what are my biggest wins last month? What are my biggest failures? And what are my largest lessons learned? In terms of successes, I am very happy with the quality of my most recent videos. In terms of failures, I have recently completed a 12-week nutrition program, and I never really got the hang of consistent food logging. And my biggest lesson learned is to take one small, imperfect action at a time. Hopefully, over time, those small actions will start gathering momentum, and I'll be getting better even if it's 1% at a time. And this is usually when I take a little break in my monthly review for the R in my Get a Grip system. Reflect. We've taken some time to look at the highs and lows of this month, looked at where we are compared to where we need to be, critically examined our own contributions to our current state, and even started to think about what we wanted to do more of and what we wanted to do less of. Before we move to the I in my system, I like to make myself some tea or simply step out of the office to take a moment to reflect on the overall review process so that I can best move forward to the I in the system, which is improve. I take all of this information and use it to inform my operating systems. As James Clear famously said in his book, Atomic Habits, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. What he's saying here is that achieving your goals is not just about setting your goals, but it's also about creating and implementing a set of systems and habits that support achieving that goal. So I take this time to evaluate my current systems, my daily habits, and I decide what are going to be my non-negotiables in the coming month. I have a coming video on my non-negotiables and how I use those to plan my ideal week. So if you're interested in checking out that video, I'd love it if you'd hit the like button. And I know, because I checked out my analytics recently, that less than half of you are subscribed to this channel. So if you feel like you're liking the vibe here so far, consider hitting that subscribe button. We finally gotten to the P in the system. The P in the system stands for planning. Studies have found that the real-time feedback that you get from doing things like a monthly review can lead to improvements in habits and routines, which is why the monthly review is a perfect time for you to start planning for the upcoming month. This is when I take the time to schedule in the vital tasks that are essential to achieving my goals, and I ensure that I've actually gone in and scheduled in a time to execute on those tasks. I also make any modifications that I have to make to my weekly or daily schedule, and I update any systems that require a little bit of tweaking. Finally, I take a look at my Notion Work Hub and I determine if I have any large projects coming up or any significant travel or things that I should just be aware of as we're moving into the coming month. When you're looking to set up your ideal month, week, or day, it's easy to fall prey to some time blocking pitfalls. If you're interested in some science-based strategies to avoid those pitfalls, check out this video right here, and as a bonus, you'll get to see me in my awkward straight hair phase.